Well, hello there. It's Photo Dave with the question of the day. The question for January 4th, 2022. But first, what do you think of my mug? It says green tea because it makes it so I actually remember what I'm drinking. Of course, I get confused when there's something else in here. Well, dang it, the mug says green tea. Why is there coffee? I that's not a thing. That doesn't happen. What does happen is I'm right-handed, not left-handed, so holding it like this is kind of throwing me off. For the next cut, I'll probably switch hands. Anywho, let's get to the question of the day. Oh yeah, this just feels right. Now remember, the question of the day videos are out there so that people can comment, so that people can answer, maybe think about their own collections, maybe think about their own action figure photography, maybe think about all that stuff, kind of see where you're at as far as the general zeitgeist of the collecting population, figure out how we're all feeling, what we're all thinking about the current state of everything. Anywho, with that said, the question of the day is this. Are you collecting any new action figure lines this year? Oh boy. Yep. This is not something I want to answer. I'm kind of embarrassed, really. It's a lot of stuff. Oh dear. All right. I got to just breathe through, get through this. So here we go. The first thing I'm starting to collect, Beast Kingdom. But I'm collecting all these things within reason. I'm not breaking the bank. I'm not being a completist. That would be a problem, especially with a few of these lines. The reason I'm getting Beast Kingdom, it's not even that I'm getting the line, I'm getting Darkseid from the line. I looked up his scale as opposed to like the Mafex Superman size, so I looked up how tall he was compared to how tall Superman is, all that. And it looks like the Beast Kingdom Darkseid is going to scale perfectly with the Mafex Superman. So how a lot of Marvel Legends treat Marvel Select, where they bring in the larger characters to fit with their collections, Darkseid's a larger character who's frankly going to fit with my collection. And well, I'm hoping the one picture with the wrist that looks all funky, I'm hoping maybe that picture was just taken poorly and maybe the wrist or the hand was pulled out a little too far. Next. The next line is one that money would pretty much prevent anybody from being a completionist. At least I think. Unless you're Mark Zuckerberg, but let's face it, he's probably not getting into this stuff. Maybe a little. I don't know. I don't know Mark Zuckerberg. If you do, find out if he collects toys. Here's the deal. Number 2 is Diaclone. Specifically Diaclone Reboot, but there's another figure from Diaclone who looks pretty sweet, to be honest. Diaclone is kind of the predecessor of Transformers. But whereas I've had some pretty rough Hasbro Transformers lately, all the things I've seen about the Diaclone Reboot line, they all say these are expensive. They all say they're not huge figures, but they also all say the engineering, the color, the paintwork, everything about them is phenomenal if you feel like ponying up the money. So I'm going to pony up some money. Fortunately, I don't see tons of them that I think look really sweet, but there are a few, so I have to keep myself in check. The thing with Diaclone, they're all supposed to be mechs. So, like, they're kind of off an assembly line. So every figure you can buy as many of as you want. And frankly, I can't do that with like $200 and $300 figures. Whew! So yeah, Diaclone Reboot. Keeping the spending in check, but still needing really cool robots. And now, on to the next one. The next one likely isn't going to break the bank too badly. I mean, it's going to hurt for a bit. But most of what they come out with, much to a lot of people's surprise, I'm sure, I'm not really a fan of. So the next one is the Mezco 1/12 collective stuff. Specifically, Marvel and DC. I'm not really interested in any of their other licenses. Maybe if they got the Star Wars license, I'd take a look at that. But I'll tell you what I've got on pre-order, or even totally paid for so far, just to see kind of where my head's at. Bishop. I think Bishop looks really cool. He looks like a good combination of the armor and the cloth aesthetic. Most of my problems with Mezco seems to be the cloth doesn't look very good on him. To me. Now, I know to others, it's totally different. Now, next would be Ghost Rider. The thing with Ghost Rider is this. He looks phenomenal with Mezco, and I also have to consider this. I don't think Mafex is going to make a Ghost Rider, and even if they did, I don't know that they'd make a Hell Cycle. I could be wrong, maybe they will, but the Mezco one, if I can't get a Mafex one, that looks like a hell of a consolation prize, so we'll see what we get there. And then there is also, I'm on the wait list for Mr. Freeze, who looks really cool. I might not get it because I'm waitlisted, or maybe I'd pay eBay prices for him. He just looks sweet. Like the cloth goods look right with all the mechanical stuff, the overlays, the guns look awesome, the effects pieces. It's not that I don't think Mezco does good work, it's that generally I'm just not a fan of the aesthetic, but some figures, I'm good with it. And the last ones that I have on pre-order right now, the Fantastic Four. Yeah, I know. That's an expensive set. But here's my thought. One, it might be the only Fantastic Four figures I ever need, unless somehow Mezco does an Invisible Woman and a totally flamed on Johnny Storm. So we have a cat racing through. Also, there's the whole look of them as far as the cloth doesn't seem like it fits well, but when I think of the Fantastic Four and those costumes, I think of Jack Kirby's designs. And frankly, in Marvel Comics, those figures always look like they were wearing pajamas anyway. And the Mezco figures, they don't look that bad, but they do look a little puffier than most of the time you see with your superhero fare. Whew! Oh, and also they're teasing a Doctor Doom. I need that. Oh, Mezco. Oh, my wallet. Okay, only 2 to go. And we're not breaking the bank too hard with these, actually. I'm pretty geeked about that because I like money. I'm greedy like that. But you can see why I want Toy Picks to be able to get enough of a presence online where it's able to pay for all this stuff. Anywho, the next one is SH Figuarts, but don't worry, we're not loading up. We're not getting them all. We're not even getting any other properties but one. The one we're getting is the Star Wars property. Now, I already have Mando and Boba Fett paid for. I have Luke on pre-order. And that's it. And those aren't insanely expensive figures. They're around, I think, 70 or 80 shipped. So they're not too bad compared to a lot of other stuff on my list. They're still bad when you consider Black Series figures and everything, but these SHF figures, they have really stellar likenesses from what I can tell in the promo shots. Here's hoping they show up like the promo shots. And the articulation is crazy. So I'm really wanting those because, frankly, the only thing I have left in my Star Wars collection right now are 8 Black Series Stormtroopers. And I love those Stormtroopers. Don't take anything away from those. But now, I need people to throw down with them. So yeah, here's hoping that SHF keeps releasing Star Wars figures, but not at too frantic a pace. 1 to go. Whew. And finally, the last new line I'll be collecting this year, the 3-0 MDLX Transformers line. Now, they're not breaking the bank right now. There's an Optimus for 80 and a Bumblebee for 60. That's $140 total, plus shipping, but still, that's nothing compared to a whole lot of figures on this list. That makes me pretty happy. And the only things that looks like might still be coming out this year, at least all that's been announced, is a new Megatron and a new Rodimus Prime. So tops, we're looking at maybe 4 figures. Maybe they'll announce a couple more for the end of the year. Either way, not insane, not going to break the bank, which is very nice on the old wallet. Here's the thing with these. I've always heard how cool 3-0 was, but the figures were so big. I was like, man, I would love a line of them, but I can't collect a line of figures that big. Maybe 1 or 2 shoots, like offshoots or whatever, I'm cool with, but my head doesn't work that way, sadly. And a lot of them have been movie designs, and I'm not the biggest fan of the movie designs. What I love, though, are these MDLX designs are taking the 80s figures, the 80s characters, the 80s designs, and updating them for today. Now, I know a lot of people want all 80s all the time. Folks, for me, they've done all 80s all the time. It's time for some newer stuff. It's time for some other stuff. I mean, when I think about Transformers, I love the RID design for Optimus Prime. I love, like, the one where he was Fire Convoy, the fire truck. I love the Cybertron design. I love the Transformers Prime design for a lot of these figures. You know, I like a lot of the evolution type stuff. And these figures look like they took the 80s and evolved them in a huge way. And that's what I like to see in my Transformers right now. Hasbro's feeling a little rough, but 3-0, I'll take those. I'll take those MDLX figures all day. So, thankfully, that's all. That's all. Yeah, just 5 new lines. That's all I'll be collecting this year. That's, new on top of everything else. Oh, God. Why isn't there more than just tea in this mug? Anywho, you know how it is. These questions of the day aren't designed for me to just spout off. It's also designed for you to mouth off in the comments. Let me know what you're looking at picking up. Let me know what kind of new stuff you're looking at getting this year. Make it so I don't feel so silly. Make it so I don't feel so all alone. Please, make your wallet suffer like mine is. Yeah. That's it. Everybody like, comment, subscribe, have fun, enjoy answering the question, and as always, folks, happy snapping. See ya.